He was in a cinema with no one else while he was watching Morbius right before he died. Let's get this over with. Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Stews here, and welcome to my conclusion of the Sony Spider-Man universe movie reviews leading up to Madam Web. And today, I am going to be doing a rant on the worst of the Sony Spider-Man villain spin-off movies, Morbius. Oh boy, I bet you guys were excited for me to do it, so let's tear this shit apart. So, Morbius is the third film in the Sony Spider-Man villain universe movies. Why is it a universe? I'll talk more about it later. And it's directed and came out in the year 2022, and is directed, if this movie was even directed, by Daniel Espinosa, who is the same director as who actually directed some underrated films, notably Life and Safe House. Yeah, both movies I personally defend, and I think they're pretty solid films. And it stars Jared Leto, Matt Smith, Adria Arjona, Jared Harris, Tyrese Gibson, etc. And so, the plot for Morbius, tells a story. What story is there? Basically tells the story of Dr. Michael Morbius, who wants to cure his illness. But then he turns into a vampire, and his brother also wants the same thing. But the only difference is that Morbius turns into a quote unquote heroic vampire, while Michael Morbius's friend. Why does he have a last name like if it's biological? Is it a friend, or I'll talk more about that shit later. He also wants the cure, but then he turns into a bad vampire, and so they clash, and yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. Yeah, there's no plots. Screw it. Oh boy, yes, yep, Morbius. One of the most delayed films of all time. A film that was supposed to come out on July 2020. The movie just kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed so many times until now. Yep, so much freaking delays. And yeah, I will admit that the teaser trailer was yeah, it didn't really know what to do. But I was like, oh, it's a Marvel movie. I watched this one in theaters. Just like every Marvel movie, even the Marvel movies that look like shit, I still watch them in theaters because I'll always watch a Marvel movie in theaters. I even saw Fantastic Four in theaters. Although with that film, I was not aware that it was gonna suck. Yeah, it was going to suck. But yeah, the movie just kept getting delays and delays and delays. Like it kept, it was either delayed or completely ignored before it got delayed, and now its final release date is on April, I guess. Yeah, April, March, like that. Yeah, I think it was. I don't even. April. I think. Yeah, pretty much April. So. Yeah, the fact that I can't even remember its release date goes to show how much I don't give a shit about this. So yeah, oh dear God. Yeah, this is one of the most hated superhero movies of all time. This is one of the most critically panned superhero movies of all time. Yeah, one of the most poorly received, and by far the most poorly received movie of the decade. I gotta say, but yeah. Now I will say that I do think that the Sony Spider-Man universe is a bit overhated. Yeah, I'll probably talk about the Sony Spider-Man yeah, when it comes to these Sony Spider-Man universe movies, I mean, I will admit, I do think making this into a universe is a bad idea because there's clearly no connection here. There's clearly no connection with with these films. I mean, you got the Venom movies, which feels like its own thing. Like it feels like its own spin-off. Fine. I did not like the first Venom movie, but at the very least, I acknowledge what Venom was trying to do. I don't think it's a bad. I didn't think it was a bad movie at all. Venom Let There Be Carnage is actually a good movie. Don't care what anyone else says. But Morbius is the breaking point. Oh dear lord. Yeah. However, I do think it's overhated because let's not jump into any conclusions here. Let's not jump into any conclusions. Any conclusions because I guess although Madam Web now is getting a lot of hate, like people like there are some people going as far as there's some early reactions so straight up hating Madam Web and going as far as calling it worse than Morbius. No yeah yeah Madam Web is already getting destroyed. To me personally, I'm still optimistic about Madam Web. I'm going in a little cautious and open-minded and willing to give it a chance. No way in hell, whether I end up liking it or not, there's no way in hell it's going to be even comparable to Morbius. Like, it's... Maybe it'll at least be Venom mediocre, like Venom-like, something like that. Yeah, it's probably going to be like that. Kraven the Hunter looks good, in my opinion. I think it looks like it could be pretty good. Kraven the Hunter is by far my most anticipated of the three Sony Spider-Man Villain Universe movies that's coming out this year. And I'm kind of curious about Venom 3, though I can't really get too excited for it if I don't know the plot for it. But yeah. I think the main problem I have with the Sony Spider-Man universe is that it shouldn't have been a universe. Like, these villain movies should have been its own thing. I mean, the Venom movie should have been its own thing. Morbius should have been its own thing. Madam Web should have been its own thing. Kraven should have been its own thing. But no, apparently they're trying to connect it to a universe. And considering that there's three universes with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. Yeah, Sony can't seem to decide on which universe which universe these movies should take place in. That's a problem. Why is it so hard for you to just make it its own thing? But yeah, Jesus. Oh yeah, and let's get the elephant out of the room first. The fucking memes. Apparently, this movie has a quote unquote fan base where apparently people would meme this movie to death and ironically like it and say, oh, Morbius is one of the movies of all time. Morbius made a more $1 billion at the box office. It got 203% on Rotten Tomatoes. And apparently people stupidly decided to release this film in theaters just because of the memes. Dear Lord. And yeah, I never really understood why this movie is meme to death. It's really annoying. Like, it's not The Room. Like, how is this a so bad as good movie? There's nothing in this movie. Yeah, there is absolutely nothing. Yeah, you can already tell I hate this movie with a burning passion. But on this rewatch today, I rewatched this movie on Netflix, and I gotta say, holy fucking shit. Morbius is the worst Marvel movie I have ever seen in my life. Yep, it is now officially the worst Marvel movie. I take back everything mean I ever said about Fan Force Stick. This is truly the worst. As horrendous as Fan Force Stick is, as insufferable, as painful, and as wasteful as Fan Force Stick 2015 was, there's one thing I will give Fan Force Stick this. At least it felt cinematic. At least it felt like a movie that would be approved on the big screen. It's a shit movie. But at least it feels like, oh, okay, I'm actually watching this movie theaters. I'm just seeing how bad it is, but at least you can just look at this as a theatrical film, despite being a bad one. So that is something. Morbius, on the other hand, it doesn't even feel like a theatrical film. It feels like a straight to streaming. It feels like a straight to streaming movie. Yeah, that's how pathetic it is. Yeah, yeah. My God, Morbius. Like his movie's ugly. Yeah, and yeah. Is there anything good to say about this film? Nope. Nothing good about this film. Okay, yeah, fine. There's one minor good thing to say about this film. Just one. There's a scene in the bar where Milo Morbius went into a bar and then he was like hooking up with this blonde chick, and the blonde chick was kind of hot, even though she's like there for 1 second. That's it. That's the only good thing I can say about this film, but everything else, holy shit. Yeah, I feel like that quote unquote redeeming quality can literally slip by, and I can just say that there's nothing good about this because there's clearly nothing good to say about this film whatsoever. Yeah, this movie is an absolute mess. Yeah, this movie is a fucking mess of a movie. Yeah, it was just, like, I there the story was so simple. Like it had a simple premise of Morbius like trying to. Sorry, I dropped something. It had a very simple premise of Morbius desperately trying to cure himself, but like there's no flow. When I first saw the movie, I thought it was just confusing. I thought it was just me being confused on what was going on, but then I realized now there's no story. There's no plot. There's no flow. It's just concept. That's it. There's no flow in the movie. There's nothing. The editing is atrocious. The flow is atrocious. There's no flow. It's going in bits in, cuts in, bits in, cuts in. Yeah, I bet you probably get the reference. Yeah, but yeah, I bet you get the reference. And yeah, it was so confusing. But no, confusing isn't even the right word to use because yeah. Confusing is too generous. And yeah, but you know what's worse about this movie than the story being messy? It is boring. 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 Yeah, this is a bore of a movie. This movie is only like an hour and 40 minutes. Well, 90 minutes before the credits roll. For some reason, this movie was actually longer than Venom if you take away the post credits scene for some reason. Yeah, this is apparently the longest Sony Spider-Man universe movies. But yeah, this movie felt like 3 hours. It felt like a freaking eternity to sit through. Even though this is like even my third time watching this, it still felt like it took forever to sit through. Yeah. Where do I even get started? Like, first of all. This movie doesn't know like what universe it takes place in. Yeah, it was like in the teaser trailer. They showed a graffiti of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and then apparently the director said that this is gonna take place in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield was Spider-Man's universe, Andrew Garfield's universe, and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was supposed to appear and. And then it was, and apparently they decided to have that post credit scene where Vulture is transported into the universe that this movie takes place in, and apparently Vulture's like, I don't know how I ended here, but it had something to do with Spider-Man. Yeah, and I want to join forces. I want to team up, and yeah. And by the way, that post-credit scene is the worst post-credit scene Marvel has ever done. I mean, honestly, this movie's so bad that it doesn't even deserve to be acknowledged as a Marvel movie. No, I refuse to acknowledge it as a Marvel movie. Fuck that. Yes, fuck that. Yeah, fuck that. I mean, yeah, but yeah, like Yeah, this movie's just really confused. I mean, Sony, what are you doing? Yeah, apparently, I'm glad that people don't blame Marvel for it. Because this is clearly a Sony movie, just in association with Marvel. Yeah, but but yeah. What else? And by the way, yeah, this is apparently an action horror movie. Where's the horror? Like, apparently it does. There is actually one. There is only one straight up horror scene where Michael Morbius attacks this random doctor, a female doctor with short hair. Apparently, it was shown in the trailer. Yeah, what was meant to be a jump scare in the movie apparently was not a jump scare. I'm talking about the jump scare she saw in the trailer. Apparently it wasn't. Yeah, the trailers make you believe that this is going to be a horror movie, but nope. Yeah, this movie has so much. The marketing for this movie, so much fake shit. That it just makes people just so upset. Yeah, and yes, my God, there is so much leaks in this film. Like, well, they cut out a lot of scenes. Apparently this is supposed to have a similar runtime to Madame Web. Yeah, they cut a lot of scenes. Vulture scenes were removed. Besides, the post credit scenes and obvious research. Reshoots, and it shows. The editing was so choppy. I mean, it was fast paced, yet still bored me. It was trying to move fast, yet it was so slow at the same time. So it has a very inconsistent pacing. And oh my God, the action scenes in this movie is some of the worst action I've ever seen. There's barely even there's barely an action scene in this one. I mean, what action scenes do we get? A boat scene, which is just Morbius just grabbing people and eating them off screen. You got that shitty subway scene where Milo turns into a villain, and that anticlimactic final battle. Yeah, anticlimactic final battle. Yeah, all of them suck. Yeah, and my God, the camera work in the latter two action scenes, those Michael versus Milo action scenes. Oh my God, they are horrendous. The camera work and especially the CGI just makes me want to barf. Bro, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, why? And yeah, the CGI is ugly, especially like when Michael and Milo turn into vampires. Oh my God, their vampire CGI looks like total shit. Like, why? And and those zooms in those action scenes, those zooms like the camera basically zooming and showing slow mo. God damn, is it bad? God damn, is it bad? Yeah, the action scene is just so it's so bad. It's not even laughably bad. It's just like what the fuck am I watching? Kind of bad. Kind of bad. Yeah. The cast are all wasted. I mean, there isn't even a lot of A-list casters in there. Yeah, at least Madame Web has a promising cast. I mean, even though I'm not a Dakota Johnson fan, I mean, I am rooting for Dakota Johnson to improve, to have a good role after that, being in those shitty 50 Shades films. You got Sydney Sweeney, who I apparently became a fan of after recently seeing No Hard it's Anyone But You in theaters last month, and yes, I did. And yeah, and I actually do like Isabella Merced a lot. I wouldn't say I'm a diehard fan of her, but I like Isabella Merced a lot. So yeah, at least you can admit that in Madame Web. And you even got Adam Scott and Emma Roberts in there too. But this one, I mean, Jared Leto and Matt Smith are A-list stars. I mean, Adriana Arjona is apparently everywhere despite her being a B-list actress. Like, yeah, and yeah, Jared Harris is wasting this. What the fuck is Tyrese Gibson doing in this? Yes, Roman Pierce from the Fast and Furious films. Tyrese Gibson is meant to be a comedic actor. He's an actor who has a great sense of humor. despite he did go a little too far with his humor F9, but he was he's great at being funny. But the fact that they thought like, but yeah, who the fuck thought of making Tyrese Gibson a serious character? He like when Tyrese Gibson is serious, good God, you can clearly tell that he wants to crack a joke, but they want this movie to be so serious. Yeah, no, yeah, they want this to be so serious. Yeah, don't. Yeah, he's meant to be an actor only for comedy, or at least make his character comedic in this one. It could have been better, and yeah. Jared Leto and Matt Smith were awful in this one. Yeah, Jared Leto is like, now at least it's better than his performance as Joker from the Suicide Squad. But good God, yeah, Michael Morbius was just like, Jared Leto was just sleeping on the job. He was just like, dragging his ass throughout, and but yeah, the worst character in the movie has to be Matt Smith as Milo. Oh my God, he is certainly one of the worst villains of 2022. Arguably the worst villain of 2022, but it's either him or that Dino guy from Ice Age Buck Wild. But seriously, screw Michael Morbius. So screw Milo. Holy shit, he is just insufferable. Like, Matt Smith gives an awkward, over the top performance, like so cheesy. I mean, what the hell, Matt Smith? Is this how you follow up your best performance, which is Jack from Last Night at Soho? What happened, Matt Smith? You're so much better than this. You're so much better than this with your Last Night at Soho and also Doctor Who. I mean, just why? Yeah, like every time he makes these little villain monologues, it's just so cringy. And don't get me started on his dance like I'm sex, I'll put you guy, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, that stupid dance scene. Why do people meme that scene a lot? Like, what's so good about the scene? It's just stupid. It's just stupid, and yeah, the chemistry. Yeah, Michael and Milo's chemistry is basically just a rip off of to Thor and Loki, where basically, even though they're friends, they act like brothers. This one, so the movie couldn't even decide if they're friends or brothers. Although it does make sense to treat your brothers as friends. I mean, I treat some of my online friends as brothers. You know who you are if you're watching this. And yeah, like J-Bus. Yeah. Oh my God. Like, their chemistry is a rip. Their dynamic is basically a rip off of Thor and Loki, where basically Michael Morbius is the favorite quote unquote son of Jared Harris's character. But then even though he has been taking care of Milo more than Michael, he prefers Michael. He likes Michael better than Milo. So basically, yeah. Milo's whole motivation for being the main villain is that he wants to be the favorite son. But he's jealous over Michael being considered the better person than him. Like, what the fuck? That's basically Thor and Loki. That like, you can't tell me, oh no, it's not a ripoff. Yeah, you clearly can't convince me like that. And oh yeah, and also there is no ending to this film. Like, basically the film ends with Michael Morbius, Michael killing Milo and then flying away, and then that's it. That's the end of the movie. Wow. Like, no conclusion at all. Just like, okay, end of climax. Okay, cut the whole film. Wow. Just, wow. I mean, you can't make a movie like this, make a good movie like this without an ending. Like, Jesus Christ. You know what? Fuck it. I'm done talking about this film. So, overall, Morbius is Morbius shit. Yeah, this movie is so bad that it's not even this movie is so bad that it's not even a so bad good meme worthy level bad movie. It's just an insufferable piece of dog shit, a piece of diarrhea movie. Yeah, this is the worst movie of 2022. Personally, that still goes to Robert Zemeckis' Pinocchio and this one and Buckworld. I'd say I'd put this under chance. I think this will be my fourth worst movie of the year. I mean, you still got Buck, the Robert Zemeckis Pinocchio, Buck Wild, and Transylvania. Yeah, those three movies are worse than Morbius. Yeah, yeah. Apparently, yeah. What? Yeah. Apparently, this is not even the worst Sony movie of the year. Actually, no. Yeah. Fuck it. I take that back. This is worse than Transylvania. So, Transformania. So, I would say this is my third worst movie of 2022, right behind Pinocchio, Robert Zemeckis Pinocchio, and I think I mentioned the Buckwell. So yeah, so yeah, I guess I said yeah. This is I'm not sure if I'm debating if I should put this on as the worst superhero movie of all time because you still got films like Justice League and Batman and Robin. So I'm debating on that. But one thing's for sure, this is the worst Marvel movie, and I would rather watch Fan for Stick over this film any day. So with that said, I'm going to give Morbius 0 stars out of 5. You know what? Yeah, I'm sick of being too nice by giving movies half-star ratings. You know what? I'm gonna go back to giving some truly bad movies 0, and this movie certainly deserves a 0. So for my rant on Morbius, I know you're disappointed that it's just a regular rant, but trust me, it came close to getting the title of the biggest rant. Yeah, that's one compliment I can actually give Morbius. It doesn't really have a biggest rant. It didn't reach the levels of me giving this a biggest rant. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Morbius? I mean, does anyone even like Morbius, like unironically? I mean, but do you straight up hate Morbius, or do you like Morbius ironically for the memes? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my movie review of Madam Web. And I know you might be waiting for my next award show. I promise my the next part of my award show, of my Frozen Awards 2024 will come after. My Madam Web review. Bye, guys.